We are now ready to create products inside of Maker's Manager. The first step before we create products is to add in all of our materials, which we have done. You can check out the video for that to make sure that you are adding in all of your materials first. We are now ready to create our products. So clicking on create products, the three different options here. The first one for product is this is when we're building something from our materials. This is going to be what you're going to select the majority of time. Product bundle is if we want to put, say, gift sets together during a holiday season. And so we want to combine a few products that have already been built, but to create it as its own new SKU. That is what we can select that for. And then resell item is going to be, say, if you are selling lighters, USB lighters, or matches, or wick trimmers, something that you're maybe buying wholesale somewhere else, and you're just going to resell it, and you want to keep track of your inventory on that within Maker's Manager, you can do that here. Let's just select product. We're going to build out a new product here. This new product is going to be a lavender candle. It's going to be my 10 ounce. Now, here's a little tip for you. I always recommend putting in either the size of your product or the variance. For instance, if it's a candle or if it's wax melt, or for us, we do this candle in a 10 ounce and we also do it in a 5 ounce. So I want to be able to see in a list very quickly without having to click into it what size that is that I might be getting low on, or what my inventory level is. So I'm always going to put that in the product name. You can put in a photo if you'd like. You certainly don't have to do that. And a description if you would like. You can put that here as well. Pull that from your website, or it would be a great place to host that so that you can grab it and put it other places if you needed to without having to go and log into your website every time. Current inventory, we do not have any of this. I'm going to set my minimum at 5. So I want to know whenever I get to 5 of these so that I'm triggered to then go and make more. Under categorization, the product category for this is a candle, but you can select wax melts, you can select soap. These are all just suggested. You can actually just type in here as well if there's a category that you want to select. Let's just say reed diffuser, right? You can create whatever you want for your categories. For me, it's just going to be a candle, and we do that so that we can sort at any time to get more accurate numbers. Season, if it is seasonal, you can select your season here if you would like, or you can just have it as year round. Marketing themes is going to be if you have any marketing themes that you want, you can put those here. And then there's optional details here of a UPC or SKU that you might have, but these are just optional. You do not have to complete that. What's most important is the product name and getting that right, and getting your inventory right, of what your current stock is and what your minimum stock level should be, and then the category of it. I'm going to click on next. Product template. We do not have templates yet because we need to have a product first to create templates off of. And since this is our first product, we do not have templates. So we're going to skip over this, and we are going to go right into materials. This is where we're going to add in every single thing that goes into creating this candle. So that's going to be wax. That is going to be the lavender oil. That's going to be a wick. That's going to be a straight-sided jar. And that's going to be a lid. These are all of the materials that go into this. Now, I need to select how much of everything, right? So 4 ounces, I need to select how many ounces. This is a 6-ounce candle for me, right? You see this number is changing because the cost of this is going up because I keep adding in more. So we're going to say that this is a 1/2 ounce of oil, 6 ounces of wax. Actually, this is a 6.5. This is the 10 ounce candle I'm making, not my 5 ounce. So that's going to be 9 ounces of wax, 1 ounce of oil, 1 wick, 1 jar, and 1 lid here. Now, for most of our products, we're also going to have a, say, warning label and then a label for the front. You're going to want to make sure you put all of those products in as well to get the most accurate pricing for this. So do that ahead of time before you build out your product. But now you can see my estimated cost on this is $5.15 for one of these. Down here, we have production specifications. If you have specific pour temperatures and cure times, you can put these in here. It is optional if you don't necessarily need to track that. If you have it all memorized, that's fine, but you are more than welcome to take advantage of this. You can also put in some production notes. So this looks accurate to me that we have one of these, $5.15. I'm going to click on next. All right. So here it is listed again. And here it shows based on what we set up when we initially set up our platform. I selected that my methodology is that I like to do everything on a 4x system. That is my starting point. That does not mean that's what I price all of my products at. That is just a good starting point for me to make sure that I'm on track with making a product that I can actually sell. So right away, based on the suggestion that I set up, and then again, this 4x, you can change this in settings to, you can do it, 3x, 5x, 4x, whatever you want. You can also change it to, if the lingo, the terminology you use is margin, if you work off, say, 50% margin, 70% margin, 30% margin. If that's the way you like to build out your products and your business, totally fine. You can update that again inside of settings for that. So I set mine as a suggested at 4x. So everything it gives me, it's going to start at that price. So based on my $5.16, it is going to suggest that my retail price on this candle be at least $21, which means my wholesale price on that would be at just about $11 there. So I'm actually charging $26 for this, and I am charging $13 for wholesale on this. So now that I've put in my accurate pricing here, not just the suggestions, but my accurate pricing, I can now see my profitability per unit. So my cost of goods is $5.16. So my retail price is at $26, means I'm making $20.84 per unit, and I'm making a 80.2% profit margin there. And in wholesale, the same, $7.84 is what I'm making, which is 60%. So that is above my set wholesale price of 50%. And then this down here just gives you a glance. So this is saying, hey, at 100 units, you are going to make $2,084 retail in profit. Or if you're doing these all in wholesale, you're going to make $784 in profit. So this kind of gives you that bonus gut check of, hey, does this make sense for if you make 100 of these, depending on if you're selling these retail or wholesale, does this make sense for your business? I'm going to go ahead and create product here. And there we have it. Since my stock is at 0 units, now when I go back to my dashboard, you are going to see that I have a alert for low products. So again, low materials, these are the raw things, right? These are the alerts that I set for that. And then the low product alerts are right here. So it shows, hey, you're supposed to have 5 and you have 0. Let's go through it one more time real quick. Let's just create my moonflower candle. All right, and this is going to be a 10 ounce. My current stock is 0. I'm going to put my minimum threshold at 5 again. Product category, candle. This is year round, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to hit next, and then I am going to, I'm not going to be able to select any of this yet because I don't have these product templates. So let's just build this out. Add item for materials. I need wax. I need moonflower oil. I need a straight-sided jar. I need to have a wick, and I need to have a lid in here. And then I need to adjust this based on how much is going to go into this. This is going to be 9 ounces of wax. And then my oil is going to be 1 ounce and only 1 vessel, 1 wick, 1 lid. We are good. This is $5.70 is what this is. I'm going to select next. Again, I sell this for $26. It's giving me a retail price. Again, this is just a suggestion based on how you set up the system. For me, so this would tell me my minimum, my absolute minimum that I would sell this for would be $23 because I'm working off of 4X in my business. I'm setting these to what they truly are, and it is now showing me what my profit is here. Create product. That is it. We now have 2 products in here. We now have 2 products that are on my low stock alert. We also have this alert up top here for our materials that we need to order. I can just exit out of that. And we can always go back to this, and we can even show here low stock alerts. And if this one of these was, say, a wax melt, I could also go in here and select categories and change that way. and hide resell. If we did have our matches or wick trimmers or anything like that, and you want to filter those out, you could do that here. So hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions about adding products.